Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy VIII on the Mysterious CG. And we're about to actually leave and go meet up with Inspector Trepp and do some stuff. Let's get this show on the road here. Every single year you get troublemakers entering. Oh, how I enjoy scolding them. Oh, you're challenging moi? Yeah, you can play cards with this guy. Pretty exciting. The batteries. Oh, come on. I'm kind of hungry. Want to grab something to eat? Yeah, sure. Let's leave. The place that has hot dogs. How about? What about the new place where they serve that sweet stuff? Ooh. Sweet stuff, eh? Sounds good to me. So, the exciting saga of those folks and their sweet stuff. I should go home this weekend. I really should go visit my parents. Excellent breeze. Great day for cards. Want to play me cards? No. So these guys are just around because, like, you know, you can find people who are at significantly different levels of how powerful their cards are so that you can win sometimes. You can advance to more difficult opponents, etc. But they all have dialogue that has nothing to do with cards. And in that case, this is a guy who talks about visiting his parents. Apparently my controller is about to run out of juice, so I guess I'll go deal with that while the game is playing itself for a moment. I have a few things to explain before we shove off. You shove off. Goof gives us strength. The stronger the goof, the stronger we become. Get a new controller going here. Alright. So here's a brief explanation on junctioning a goof. Junction tutorial. Oh, apparently it's going to need me to hit a button here, so hold on. Sorry, I thought it was going to take care of itself for a minute. Trying to get my, yeah. Wouldn't be a JG Let's Play if I wasn't switching controllers while recording. Junction enables characters to power up and use abilities. This means a goof, that's GF, or Guardian Force, must be junctioned in order to power up and use abilities. Let's begin by junctioning a goof. Goof gas A. Right now, no goof is junctioned. All of the commands in gray cannot be selected yet. Once junction is selected, the goof and magic commands appear. Since no goof is junctioned, magic is displayed in gray. Let's junction a goof. By selecting goof, a goof list appears. Press square to see the abilities possessed by a goof. The abilities are HP junction, vitality junction, etc. Let's choose a goof. When goof quasi-quaddle is selected, its abilities, HP, J, and Divide J make the stats of HP and VIII appear in white. Magic can now be junctioned to HP and VIII. But since there's currently no magic, we will move on to setting abilities. There are 3 command abilities, and 2 non-command abilities for characters and party. A total of 5 abilities can be set. Depending on the GIF's abilities, the maximum is 4 non-command abilities. This means that up to 7 abilities can be set. Let's set some abilities. First, select a slot. The top window is for command abilities used during battle. The bottom window is for characters and party abilities. Passives, basically. Selecting the top window displays command abilities. And selecting the bottom window displays character and party abilities, as I just implied. Since there's currently no magic, let's select the command ability. Sorry. Draw to get some magic when an empty slot is chosen. The cursor moves to the right. Select draw to set the command draw. This is how command abilities used during battle are set. Let's add goof and item to the command abilities. Now goof and item are set. Let's set a non-command ability. By moving the cursor down, character ability is displayed. Now it's set to magic plus 20. Select an empty slot. And select magic plus 20. Magic plus 20 is now set. Abilities have now been set. This concludes the tutorial. Thank you and good luck.
Everything okay up till now? You can always check back by accessing tutorial from the menu, and you don't even have to read it in my voice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once we get to the fire cavern, I'll explain how to junction magic. Use the command draw during battle and stock magic from your enemies. Be sure to have some stocked. Ready to go. The fire cavern is used for the test is located east of here.
So now we've got Quistis, Kitus, whatever, and Squall. We've got 2 Goofs, both at level 1. You can select which abilities they're going to learn. They get ability points when you fight battles. One of the main things to figure out in this game is ways to give ability points to your GFs without actually leveling up your characters if you're trying to keep your levels low until you've unlocked passives that will boost your stats at level up. There are ways to do that. One of them is the card command. Maybe I'll showcase that in this video. I can probably do that through the magic of save states. And Shiva. So if we were to junction, Kitus could get Quetzalcoatl. She doesn't have any magic to junction. But she should use Draw and Guardian Force, which basically is a summon command with whatever you're equipped with, and items. We can equip Shiva on Squall. Same deal, give him Draw, GF, item. And now we're out in the big wide world. So if we save our game, we can actually get into battle with wimpy little monsters. Beginning of the game type of monsters. We can set to no encounters, which is an actual skill that you can learn from a Guardian Force later that is rendered useless in this version of the game because you can just set it whenever you want. We can also do, I forget what that does. And that's 3 times boost. So I really don't remember what that fist icon means. But now we stepped into a forest and are taking on a giant caterpillar monster. And here's how magic actually works. You draw. Basically that means you're sucking magic power out of a monster. He sucked out 8 thunders, and she sucked out 3 cures. So let's kill this guy. Before he can use his special ultimate attack, Sonic Waves, which is an actual ultimate attack he has. Which you might see later, you're not seeing now. So we now have 8 thunders and 3 cures. And we got an M-stone, please. So here's how this nonsense actually works. I like the story and characters of this game, but some of the combat mechanics are very silly. So now we've got magic. She actually has 3 cure, and he has 8 thunders, because each casting of a magic really is like an item that you use once and then it's gone. And you can go draw from enemies to get more. So what this game turns into is like you can hold up to 100 of any given spell, and you can also junction spells to your abilities. So for example, we have a magic stat of 6. If we junction 3 cures to it, nothing happens because it's just too small. If we were to junction 8 thunders to spirit, again, nothing happens. It's not enough. So what I need to do actually is just use the triple speed thing to actually draw enough magic to like show you guys what it's about. Oh, there's okay.
Squall, you still remember? R1 is the trigger. Pull it as you strike. Same for Renzo Kuken.
Okay, well that's my attack, so I know how it works. So we're gonna kill one of these bugs just because there's no point in letting two of them hang around because we draw the same magic from both of them. Now, if she'll just keep drawing Cure, and he'll keep drawing Thunder. But this is where the game gets really monotonous. So we're going to do it at triple speed, but basically, because when you have a low magic stat, you have a really high fail rate. You can only draw a few spells at a time. But you basically just find an enemy that has a spell you haven't drawn yet, and you just keep doing this until you have 100 of it, which takes forever when you're not using triple speed. But the good news is you can also cast spells. So for example, we see Kaitis has only 300 hit points left. We can just cast Cure on her because that thing has Cure. So rather than drawing it and storing it, we can just actually cast it during battle, which means any enemy that has curative magic is a pushover. And your toughest fights are against enemies that don't have any curative magic because you really want to like hold on to all of your magic that you've stocked and not actually just use it. So you never end up curing and you end up dying. And eventually we will run out of space. And I accidentally made her stock Thunder when she was stocking Cure. And actually both of them can store 100, so really, ideally, if I was using this and wasn't going to be loading state, I would be probably having both of them get both spells anyway. Let's just go ahead and finish off the caterpillar, see what the insect guy has. Actually, let's see what the insect guy has now, because I think I know what he has. Fire and Scan. So Scan is kind of worth using on each enemy once just to see what's going on with it. It's not really that big of a deal. So we scanned a Caterpillar. Caterpillar. Never mind, it's a Caterpillar. Uses an attack called Ultra Waves that damages all enemies. Weak against, I think that's Earth? Might be Ice. Doesn't really matter. Okay, done. Oh man, I meant to cast it on the bug. But the second time you cast it, it doesn't give you the description. It just gives you whatever its current hit points and stuff are. This music is pretty fun, but you hear it over and over and over when you're not using 3 times speed and you're trying to draw 90 and 100 of a spell. Fight Bug, a bug monster that flies. Stay calm and attack precisely. It's not a very strong enemy. Cool. Cool beans. So now we're just going to try to win. So I can kind of showcase what goes on with... well, we've got just a few more magic spells up our sleeves. As you can see, we're leveling up. Well, we got an item called Spider Web, which Kaitis is this game's blue mage. So when you defeat certain enemies that have special attacks, you don't have to get hit by their special attacks and survive. They just drop an item that she can learn to use a special attack, which I will show later because that involves limit breaks, and I don't feel like dealing with it right now. So see, her magic was it is at 6. Now that we actually have 54 cures, junctioning cure to magic brings it up to 8. Junctioning like 5 or 6 did nothing. If we junctioned 100, it would probably, instead of going from 6 to 8, it would probably go from 6 to 10. So the more of a spell you have saved up, the better it is for your stats when you junction it to one of your attributes. It's confusing because I'm talking about the magic attribute and magic spells. Makes it a little bit more sense if we use our pal Squall. So Squall's Spirit, which is your magic defense. If I set it to nothing, it's at 5. If I junction it to 7 fire, it does nothing. 8 cures, boosts it by 1. 56 thunders, boosts it by 2. And if I had 100 thunders, it would probably boost it by about 4. It looks like if I had 100 cures, it would boost it by more. So some spells work better with some attributes. Cure does really well for hit points. It does okay with magic and spirit. It doesn't do well with strength. And then over here, eventually we'll get like elemental attacks and status ailment attacks and defense. We don't have any of that right now. But that's why you're going around junctioning lots of spells, because you as you get different guardian forces. Quistis has the guardian force Quetzalcoatl, which starts with the ability to junction magic. Squall has Shiva, which starts with the ability to junction spirit. If we got 100 of these spells that are available to us, we'd have the most options to plug in the best possible combination to get the best stats. And as your GFs level up, they learn different things. So right now, it's defaulting to summon magic damage plus 10%, which is stupid. If I cared about this slot and I wasn't going to be loading in a minute, I would have it learning HP junction to vitality junction, because once we've gotten 50, experience points or learning points or whatever by fighting monsters as these guys, we will, instead of it only being able to junction a spell to magic, when we come in here, Kaitis would also have vitality as one that's not grayed out, that she could assign something to. Alright. So let's save so we don't lose that little tiny bit of work. And I believe... we should be able to find a slot where I've already maxed some stuff out before we go to the cave with what we're allowed to do outside. Might be this one. 140. Because I might have just been more efficient. Let's see what we got here. Yep. So we got 100 fires, 100 scans from the bite bugs, 100 thunders, and 100 cures from the caterpillars. There's actually blizzard and sleep available from 2 other monsters that I can showcase in a minute. But this is probably more important. Oh no, I don't have the card ability yet. That's probably why... Okay, I want to showcase the card ability in a minute. But first off, we've seen caterpillars and bite bugs. I'll just show off the other monsters that are in this area. There's this little fellow whom I may have already scanned. Which means you won't get his name and description. Shame on me. I kind of forgot about that in my off-screening. Oh, maybe I didn't. No, I did. Oops. I shouldn't be using this slot. Anyway, it's a So whatever the hell this is, it's described as being some kind of flying ice monster. I guess I should have not used this slot. I should have used a different slot to showcase scanning this guy. You know what? That's true. I really shouldn't. Let's quick waste some more time here and get confused about what button does what. Let's exit and load, and I'll actually go back and scan all of the enemies that are in this area so you can see the descriptions. It's fine. So I know we'll get some funky enemies over here. There's a funky new enemy coming down because this beach has an enemy that will only appear if you're on the beach square tiles. And unlike the plains, where there's a couple of different encounters you can get, you really can only get either 2 of this enemy or occasionally 3 of this enemy. So several enemies at this point in the game have scan, because they're just encouraging you to actually use scan to learn about enemies. But these guys give Blizzard. And you can cast a spell without knowing what it is, which is usually not a great idea. And they got Sleep. But this is a Festitocalan, a fish that swims in the ground. Only the fin can be seen. One theory says that it may be a shark. It's a bit weird. But anyway, if you beat these guys up, they will eventually pop out of the ground and fight you. And they fight you before they pop out of the ground. I'm not really sure if they're more powerful after they pop out of the ground or not. But they're probably the toughest of the enemies that you can fight at the very beginning, but they also give you the best rewards. So they are what I end up grinding against off screen. But you have to grind really hard to get a specific skill called Card, which we don't have yet. And I'll showcase that later, but it basically allows you to defeat enemies, turn them into cards for the card game, but more importantly, you don't get experience. You just get skill points for your GFs. So it's kind of important to use the card command as a way to get your GF skills, which include the bonuses where when you level up, you don't just level up, you also increase your magic. You level up, you don't just level up, you also increase permanent hit points. Those are gotten through the GFs, so finding ways to defeat enemies, like, but not like that, where I killed it, is essential, if you care about that. Alright, so I'll tell you what, we'll finish out this video. This video is just going to be showing off a little bit of the regular enemies around here. Let's scan one of those blizzardy guys. Those are 2 bite bugs, I don't care about them. We will scan the blizzard guy so I can read its description. And then we will scan the blizzard guys. Don't accidentally tell me I hit the beach. I didn't. It's giving me nothing but bite bugs. That's unusual. Bite bugs are actually, at this point in the game, annoying because they don't have cure. Caterpillars are, other than the fish guys, they're one of the more dangerous enemies, but they give you cure, so you never really have to worry when you're in battle with them unless you just don't pay attention and don't use cure. Alright, so I'll read the description of this guy. Glacial Eye, a floating monster that uses ice magic. When running low on hit points, uses vampire to suck HP from opponents. Weak against, I guess that's fire? Ice has no effect. There you go. So we'll run away from these guys too, because they're not difficult or anything. I just was showing you the descriptions when you do battle with them. So what we can do now is exit and get back to a slot where we already have 100 of all the spells. So this is a slot where I've done all my off-screening. Let me confirm that when we enter the cave, it will be the first time we've entered the cave, and I didn't accidentally save after we've already dealt with the cave. Yeah, running away is not a problem. I don't think the game tracks it. There's nothing like the hero sword gets weaker every time you run away. Okay. Objective: to obtain a low-level goof, a seed member must support. Are you ready? Yes, or still need to prepare? We are ready, and next time we will go into the fire cave and deal with the fire cave. But I'm going to call it a video now. This whole video is basically just me giving you a little bit of a tutorial on the draw magic system. I just want you to bear in mind that if you draw 2 or 3 magic spells a turn and you're not using triple speed, it takes forever and it's extremely frustrating. It's by far my least favorite part of this game on the PS1 was drawing magic from enemies. Every time you encountered an enemy and you saw question, you'd be like, oh crap, there's a new spell I need to draw, and I need to draw. By the time you have 3 party members, you need to draw 300 of that thing. You can trade it back and forth. Squall can draw 75, and Quistis can draw 25, and Squall can give his 75 to Quistis, so she has 100 stocked. But yeah, there comes a point where you need 300, and you never really want more than that, because eventually, even when you have more than 3 party members, you only have 3 at a time. So it's like, why would I want to give 100 spells to somebody who's not doing anything? Anyway, when we come back, we'll actually advance the story. See you guys then.